Welcome back to this episode where we leave Barcelona, avoid storms in the Gulf of Lyon, and we end up in Marseille. But first, of course, a few jobs. Well, here we are, finally getting the new awning put on. I think it's looking quite nice. Goes to the black decals quite neatly. As you can see, probably through there, we had glass windows put in at the front to try and protect the helm and the inside in bad weather. So they're on hinges, they can lift up and let all the air through. And now they're just finishing off by putting the rest of the awning up, which is looking quite funky, I think. Meanwhile, the electrician fitted me some new LED lights to save on power, and also a foghorn. Okay, so today we've got a guy up on the mast just fixing a CCTV camera onto the underside of that radar reflector there. So when he's finished with that, he's also going to attach two horns for the fog, two fog horns basically, to that little bracket just above that Raymarine there, which means we'll not only have horns for the bad weather, but we'll have cameras for the good. This gave us time to have some family over, say goodbye to some friends, have a last minute check of the boat with its sails, and be on our way.
This is really them setting sail now. Pookie's in control, so we've got no problem. My guapa!
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
So we are on the passage from El Mas now towards San Fiu, something like
Somewhere north.
Yeah, somewhere north.
Don't know.
Well, north of Barcelona anyway.
Yeah.
So now we set off at around 9:30 after we're filling up the tank. And we forgot to return the key to the marina office. So we have to return the boat back and then drop the key off. And now...
Wave goodbye to Tim, who did a lovely little video for us.
Yes. And also...
Thank you, Tim.
Yes. Very good, Tim, our friend. And now it's 10:40 and we are about to reach Mataro, which is like a matador.
Like a matador.
Yes. The weather is not on our side because of the wind is just like head-on wind.
Yep.
And,
once again, we've got the wind against us, dead against us at 10 knots. Now I know what you die-hard sailors are thinking. Well, you could sail that way and use your sails, but we don't want to go that way. We want to go that way, so we're going to use the engines because we're lazy.
And it is quite cold today as well, and it's our first day coming out from the marina in 6 months, and I don't want to go hard on myself. I just want to take it easy today.
Well, Tim was saying he thinks we should class this as our first journey on our world tour, because the first journey was really just to get back to as far north as possible because Puck was doing MasterChef. So now we've done that and she's finished. I suppose we really are on our world tour now. So finally, after owning the boat for about 18 months,
no, not quite yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, just a year. Anyway, because
she's
about
so
8 months
argumentative.
in the dock.
So what month did we buy it?
It doesn't matter.
No,
Come
exactly.
on.
So it's 18 months.
Right. So now off we go, and so here where we are. So
yeah. Show you just a beautiful sea out there. Nothing but well, I suppose Italy really is eventually when you get over there. And turning into the headwind, it might be a bit iffy on the sound at the minute because of the wind a bit. I don't know. And like we say, we're just cruising along the coast, leaving hopefully the black clouds behind us. Yeah, I don't know what this is all about, but the water here looks really textured. Looks really weird, look. Tons and tons of ripples in it, and then pots in it as well. Don't know what causes this. Answers on a postcard. Well, we just had our first encounter with dolphins. But you can absolutely guarantee they won't be showing their faces again, because just typical, really. We didn't make it to Cala Sant Pol as planned because, well, we guessed those ripples turned into big waves, and with 20 knot headwinds and 27 mile an hour gusts, we decided to seek shelter in a place called Blaines. The next day we went as planned to the bay outside Salvadore Dali's house to chill and have some nice food. We were planning to stay for a couple of days and actually go inside his house, but the weather reports didn't favour us. We looked at the weather, and the weather is coming in something terrible in the Bay of Lyon in the next few days. So we decided to push on and make our way around the Bay of Lyon while the weather is still good. But as we set off, we had a smell, like a burning smell in the boat. Never a good thing. We've got a Fisher Panda generator, mainly for the aircon in the summer when it gets really bad, although it's still not really fully set up for that yet. We set it up and tried to cut some corners on the model of the Fisher Panda we got, and in hindsight it probably wasn't a very good idea. We should have probably bought the next model up. Here's a tip for fellow sailors: don't buy the cheapest Fisher Panda, because two things it doesn't do. It doesn't keep its own battery topped up, which means then we had to buy a battery charger and connect that to the 220 volts, so that when we had 220 it would use the 220 to charge the generator battery back up. How mental is that? Fisher Panda, get a grip. You should have never done that. That was a con, quite frankly. Anyway, moving on. The other thing it didn't do was cope with the surge of amps that you have when you start your aircon up. When we then decided to motor and make some ground up to get ahead of the storm, I can still smell it in here. It's not a great smell. It's like a rubbery sort of fuse blown type of smell, but I have no idea why. What it is, I actually don't know. I really don't know. Any more dolphins?
Yes, 3 more.
3 more? Beautiful. Come on, we just want one to pop up now.
Yeah.
We think we've caught one of them at least on the camera on the mast, which would be quite good if it is. We've just got to learn how to actually get those images off the camera and onto a computer, which is another thing. We're having a fair few problems with this at the moment. When we used it last year, if you can see here, it doesn't, course over ground is true 0, which means I don't think it's really correct, because if it's 0 true, then shouldn't we just be good? Yeah, but on the autopilot it says 320, so
which is that one.
Yeah, which is nowhere near true 0, which means something's not working. Also, if you look here, it says speed over ground 0. So speed over ground on that unit 0, and the speed over ground on that work is 0. So we've got no clue how quick we're going. Ah, yeah, look, you can see that. Look at this. Look. So when we came out of Ligat this morning, it seems to leave this trail. I don't know what this X is, and it seems to leave this trail going up on the map, following us. That's just weird. I don't think that's right. I don't know. We have no idea. It's never done that before. Also, it's supposed to show us the direction of travel and the direction we're pointing. Doesn't do any of that either. So that's rubbish. Where are we now then, Puck?
Right, we just passed the border between Spain into France. We are like on our left is we about to pass the Cape Cabier. Cabier. I can't pronounce it.
We haven't got that much video, Tony.
That's it. We into France.
Into
now.
France. Past our first border.
Yay! Right. So what did we just do?
We just used our code 0. First time ever, and there she is. in all her glory. Yeehaw! It was about now that the smell from the burning plastic and rubber melting really became almost unbearable inside the boat. We were opening the windows, couldn't find it. We looked under a seat and then found this, which is basically 2 fuses that seem to be on their way of burning out. So we kind of just turned off everything electrical really quickly. Well, another day, another disaster. Hook's lying down because she doesn't feel very well. And I don't feel very well. And it's mainly because of what went on in there today. We had the Fisher Panda turned on to try and put some more juice back into the batteries. We've never used the generator for that before. We've always just relied on the solar panels, but it was very overcast this morning, and I just thought we'll try it out, put the Fisher Panda on, get some juice back in. But after about 20 minutes of that, we had a lot of smoke in the boat. So now Puck and I feel sick because we've had poisonous fumes in the boat all day, and we'll have to see where we can get to get it fixed. In the meantime, we've got a nice sunset. Okay, campers, we think we found what it is. Now, my good friend Steve, who's an electrical engineer, seems to know what he's doing. He reckons it might have just been that these weren't connected up very well. I'm just as surprised as he is that these didn't blow. So we've tried to find a electrician in Port d'Agde, which is basically about halfway round the Bay of Lyon. Now, our problem is that there is really bad weather, a whole week of really bad weather coming in. So we're going to try and get into this port here for the night. We've asked them if they've got an electrician to hopefully fix that thing. That way we can be into Marseille in a marina, hunkered down, the G&T. They didn't, of course. As nice as Port Agde was, that we just gave them too little time to try and find an electrician, and so we decided to push on anyway, just leave all the electrics off and try and get to Marseille, where we would find somebody. The guy there sailing back to his pontoon, look. Everybody seems to be really good at sailing. Not like us. Whee, look at this. Beautiful. Right, Puck?
Yep.
What's it feel like doing 7.5 knots for free?
Yeah, that feel okay. Yeah, I'm still nervous, but I'm getting there.
Yeah?
So it's nice.
Beautiful.
Using mainsail and coast zero.
Yeah. It was actually really good that the wind was with us, because our port side engine that we'd been using mostly for travelling, because we only tend to use one engine at a time, had developed a lot of smoke and needed repairing.
This is it. We are anchoring here just outside Port Tamaris, on Say the Tamaris, and we'll tuck in here for a night.
Well, we finally made it to Marseille, and while we were there, when we hunkered down, Puck decided to make some bouillabaisse.
We are at Marseille, the fisherman town of France in the Provence, and Marseille is the birthplace of bouillabaisse, or the fisherman soup. And today I'm going to show you how I make this soup. I got this beautiful fish, variety of beautiful fish from the market, and also I got this beautiful vegetable that's going to go into our stock. Right, the prep is done, and you don't need to be like so neat and careful with getting the fillet of fish off the bone, because of the bone will give us such a juicy, yummy stuff. Going to put a little bit of olive oil in, my onion in, and then celery. Wet it down. well. And a bit of leek. And about enough of butter. No, normally when I cook on board the Sawadi Cat, when we're traveling, we use a lot of solar power. But today we're in the marina, so we use the shore power. Add the garlic in. Going to add some tomato in as well. And some bay leaf. And some thyme. Spend some time. Beautiful, glorious flavor going into the pot. Okay, now add some white wine in. And let's cook it down a bit more. We're going to blend it first. So once you blend it, we're just going to strain it. We're going to put the fish fillet back into the soup. So we're going to put this fish in to blanch in the stock in the soup for probably about 2 or 3 minutes. Now it's time to have fun, to plate up this bouillabaisse. And there you have it, Pookie style bouillabaisse in Marseille, Provence.
Looks like I've arrived just in time.
Oh, you finished from cleaning the robe then?
Yeah.
Alright, you can have this first.
I brought the wine.
Okay then, here you are.
Thank you, looks very nice.
Yeah, you can have that first. I'll make another one.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's enjoy bouillabaisse in Marseille, Pookie style, on board Sawadi Cat.
Subscribe, I dare you, to see us go to Saint-Tropez and Cannes.